I'm afraid of the wrath that we're gonna
Here, I finally told Robyn that I really can't.
In the heart of a seemingly ordinary neighborhood, the Singh family's life appeared perfect to outsiders. A harmonious home, laughter echoing through hallways and routines that hinted at stability. But beneath the surface, subtle tensions lingered, unspoken and unnoticed. Meri, the youngest daughter, was always the quiet one, observing the family with a mix of affection and restraint. Neighbors spoke of her as polite, composed, almost invisible in the bustle of family life, yet something simmered beneath her calm exterior. Little did anyone know, a secret had been buried for years, one that Meri had carried silently, weighed down by fear, guilt, and uncertainty. As the family went about their ordinary lives, breakfasts filled with polite chatter, school runs, and evening tea rituals, the atmosphere was deceptively normal. But change was coming. An ordinary evening, a single conversation, would soon turn the world they knew upside down. The tension builds subtly, a glance exchanged between siblings, a pause too long in the middle of a story, the quiet anxiety in Meri's eyes that hinted at a truth too heavy to bear. Viewers are left with the unsettling question, what could Meri possibly reveal that would shake her family to its core? And how long had this secret been shaping the lives of those closest to her? As days passed, the weight of secrecy began to show in Meri's behavior. Small signs, a lingering look, a hesitation before answering, moments of withdrawal, hinted that something was amiss. Family members, caught up in their own lives, noticed these shifts but dismissed them as trivial, never suspecting the storm that was quietly gathering. Meri's room became a sanctuary, a place where she wrestled with her thoughts, recording memories and fears in the solitude of late night. Viewers begin to glimpse the psychological toll of secrets, the invisible chains that bind individuals even amidst familiar love. Every smile she put on, every word she uttered, bore the secret weight of confession, as if she were walking a fine line of honesty and fear of ruination. Acquaintances beyond the family, oblivious to the ferocity in her home, noted her uncharacteristic stillness, unwittingly alluding to the tension that had been so diligently hidden. As the events unfold, questions are raised. How long can a truth be hidden before it cries out for release? And what is Meri prepared to sacrifice in order to break free from this quiet prison? The story hangs on this tension, foretelling the eventual discovery that threatens to shatter the fragile accord of family life. Tension in the Singh household began to surface in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. Meri's parents noticed the sudden quiet in family dinners, the way her laughter no longer flowed as freely, and the distant look that haunted her eyes. Siblings, sensing something had changed, tried to reach out, but every question was met with a pause, a carefully measured smile, or a vague answer. The air, once cozy and reliable, was now filled with tension, an unseen undercurrent of apprehension. Visitors who came by noticed the change, describing the weight in the room, as if the walls were collectively holding their breath. For Meri, each ticked minute was a struggle between telling the truth and maintaining the delicate world that she cherished. The spectator is invited into her inner conflict, sensing the tension of a secret just beyond the moment of discovery. All the looks shared, all the hushed conversations, had the power to shatter the facade of normalcy. And in these moments, audiences start to feel the seriousness of what is to come. A confession so overwhelming it won't just undermine the trust of the family, but redefine the very ties that have kept them together. The day that had been slowly coming up unobtrusively at last began to unfold itself. Meri could not escape the building burden of her secret anymore. In still moments of solitude, she practiced the words, each one a possible spark that could burn the delicate tissue of her family's existence. Her parents, oblivious to the storm brewing, went about their ways, but there were telltale signs, a hesitant look, a shaking hand, a too long pause before speaking, indicating that the scales were shifting. Siblings felt the strain and whispered to one another, curiosity mixed with fear, as the truth not spoken hung tantalizingly out of reach. Friends who called for run of the Milchats discovered Meri strangely remote, her answers guarded, her eyes far away, as if she were already in a place far greater than the confines of the house. The reader lives the growing tension as the narrative progresses. Every meeting is charged with significance, every pause full of promise. Audiences are pulled into the moment of inevitability, waiting for the confession that will reveal secrets, upend entrenched roles, and compel each member of the family to claim their own weaknesses. The moment is set, what has lain buried in silence is poised to burst forth, and the family is poised on the cusp of a revelation that will upend everything. The time had come. In a corner of the living room, with the sun of the afternoon casting long shadows on the walls, Meri finally broke her silence. Her voice, at first shaking, bore the heavy weight of years of silence, and as the words escaped her lips, silence dropped over the room like a heavy curtain. The family stood still, hearts racing, as the truth unfolded, an admission so unforeseen, it disrupted the diligently preserved equilibrium of trust and intimacy. Parents traded stunned looks, attempting to reconcile the cherub they had known with the evidence presented before them, while siblings wrestled with a blend of shock, denial, and an innate visceral desire to comprehend. The audience is pulled into each response, the hesitation, the gasp, the whispered questions, each second suspended with tension. Friends and neighbors outside the room were unaware, but within the room, the atmosphere was heavy, with feeling, time itself halting to witness this turning point. This admission, though intimate, is universal. It is a challenge to secret truths, the complexity of relationships, and the transformative power of candor. For Meri, uttering the words is freedom and weight, and for those around her, the start of learning, forgiving, and regaining trust through the residues of disclosure. The shock of Meri's confession rippled through the family, leaving no one untouched. Her parent, grappling with disbelief and pain, oscillated between anger and sorrow, struggling to reconcile their love for their daughter with the startling reality before them. Siblings, once playful and carefree, now approached her with caution, their eyes searching for understanding yet clouded by hurt. Each conversation became a tentative dance, one that would unleash old terrors at the wrong word or deepen feelings of betrayal. The home, once full of laughter and easy warmth, now is heavy with strain, almost brittle silence. And as the camera observes, the uncooked richness of human emotion unfolds, resentment, fear, confusion, love all entangle, rendering a potent tableau of family dynamics strained. Outside friends perceive the shift even from a distance, intuitively sensing the subtle changes in mood, behavior, and routine. At these times, one is reminded that a single truth, once uncovered, can reverberate far from its point of origin, reconfiguring relationships and compelling self-reflection. Meri herself feels a bittersweet combination of relief and fear. The relief of having at last spoken her truth, the fear of answering for the consequences, aware that every word that has been spoken has irretrievably changed her family's world. During the days after Meri had confessed, the family struggled with questions they had never even thought to ask. Parents, wanting to understand, asked softly but persistently, inquiring why Meri had so long concealed her secret, what fears had restrained her, and if the confession spoke of deeper problems within their household. Siblings, too, struggled. Part of them wanted to comfort Meri, while another part wrestled with feelings of betrayal and confusion. The house became a place of intense conversation, hushed arguments, and emotional reckoning. Each family member had to confront not only the truth of Meri's revelation, but also their own assumptions, biases, and past decisions that had shaped the family dynamic. The audience is engaged by the intimate moments of this clash, the sobs, the quivering voices, the paused silence following outbursts, and the stilted overtures of reconciliation. The tension hangs in the air and every line means something. And at the center of it all is Meri, walking this precarious tightrope between forgiveness and self-definition, as the family grapples with the enormity of redefining trust and love against the looming specter of an irrevocable truth. As weeks replaced days, the Singh family gradually started the arduous task of healing. Conversations that were tense with unspoken hurt grew into guarded overtures of understanding, as every member struggled with feelings ranging from hurtful resentment to guarded empathy. Meri, now that she had finally let go, felt relief and exposure, knowing that forgiveness would not be quick, but committed to rebuilding bridges. Parents learned to separate the confession from their love for their daughter, realizing that the revelation, while shocking, did not erase the years of care, guidance, and shared memories. Siblings, navigating their own feelings of betrayal and confusion, began to recognize Meri's courage in speaking the truth and the importance of empathy in the face of imperfection. The air, once thick and oppressive, gradually lifted as laughter crept back in tentative waves, and small gestures of tenderness heralded the first moves toward healing. Soft proof of this kind is a reminder to all viewers that family ties are not only strained by secrets we keep, but by our ability to face them with integrity, mercy, and fortitude. The confession of Meri turns more than a revelation story. It becomes a tale of forgiveness, comprehension, and the unbreakable power of human bonding. In the aftermath of Meri's confession, the Singh family emerged forever changed, yet stronger in ways they had never anticipated. The initial shock and tension gave way to reflection, understanding, and a renewed commitment to each other. Parents, having confronted their fears and doubts, embraced the complexity of their children's lives, realizing that love must coexist with acceptance, even when faced with uncomfortable truths. Siblings, once confused between anger and compassion, learned empathy and resilience, discovering that mistakes and secrets do not determine an individual's worth. Meri, being in the middle of this change, experienced liberation and a deeper sense of belonging, realizing that honesty, however challenging, can be the basis for genuine relationships for audiences. The narrative reaches far beyond the walls of a single home, showing the tenuous yet strong relationship between family members, the bravery of telling the truth, and the redemptive power of forgiveness. As sunset finds their homeland, the family gathers together, wounded but in one piece, reminding us all of the power of hope, understanding, and love to conquer even after the most revelatory disclosures, shaping a future where trust is reestablished and bonds go deeper than the secrets once poised to destroy them.